Had to run into Best Buy real quick because in order to get the video card out of this pen into my MacBook, I need an adapter, one of these babies that plugs into the MacBook, and then the SD card slides right in that little hole there. The things I have to do to make video content for you guys, 69 bucks. So, if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Only 50% of you guys are subscribed, man. Come on, give me a break. Making some content for you guys. Hit me with that subscribe. Let's get back to the house and let's crunch some numbers. What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Davis. For a lot of you guys that have just subscribed, we just hit 12,500. Absolutely crazy. I know we started the year with like 2,000, 1,900, something like that. So the growth has been insane. I really appreciate it. Today, I'm actually going to be, I'm on my way to do a commercial estimate, an apartment complex. And I figured it'd be a really great time to use my spy pen. Okay, it's got an HD camera right here at the top. I got it off Amazon. I know I've been hinting last couple of months that I would use this spy pen to do some Chick-fil-A, restaurant, repeat customer, walk in and, talk to the manager and all that kind of content. I'm still going to do that. But right now I find myself going into an apartment complex because the apartment complex called me. They want to get all the buildings washed. And they want me to come by and take a walk around. I figured it'd be a great time to use the spy pen. So stay tuned. This should be a really great video. I know that they told me that they're looking to get this done sometime in August, or probably 30 to 45 days out. Some of the most important factors that I'm going to be focusing on in today is asking really great questions. What are the expectation levels? What are they looking to get out of this cleaning, this service? So if I can point out some things that they're wanting to do, I can maybe elaborate more on my processes and how my processes will hopefully help fix whatever problem they have, which could be algae, mold, dirt. Maybe I might encounter a lot of rust, red clay stains that they want removed. So I'm going to be focusing on asking really good questions, kind of getting a hold of the whole aspect of the project, make sure I have everything down. We're going to go back home. I'll show you a formal estimate that I'm going to do on this project. We'll get everything submitted today. And so this video is going to be a whole walkthrough of the whole process. And I figured it might be a really cool video to put out on my channel. So stay tuned. We're on our way. All right, guys, I have arrived to the apartment complex. And this is actually a student living complex. I looked it up before. Their rents here are not high at all. So it's all for students. And my first impression is, what am I going to be cleaning? Because if you look at these buildings, pretty spotless. So this is going to go right into the expectation question that I'm going to be having with these people as I just back in here. Let me flip the camera. All right, guys. So yeah, most of the buildings, just driving in through it, they're all clean. I mean, I see a little bit of red clay stainage going on. I'm fixing to do a walk around with you guys, but I'm trying to figure out why I'm here. I know that they wanted some of the breezeways done, so maybe we got some nasty breezeways from all these kids, bringing in all kinds of stuff. Who knows? So we're fixing to see what that's all about. But I know they wanted all the buildings washed too. So hell, it might be a really easy wash. But we're fixing to go in there. I'm going to put my spy cam right here. So I have not tested the footage yet. Yeah, I've not tested the footage. I don't know what it looks like. So I apologize for any kind of bad quality or bad audio you're fixing to see. But this is raw commercial estimates for you guys. I'm going out on the limb, risking my life right here with this little HD camera. But let's do this. What's up? I'm actually here because I have an estimate for commercial pressure washing.
Yeah, I was told, well, our manager's in an important meeting.
Okay.
I was told that you're more than welcome to survey the property as much as you want.
Okay. Yeah, I know it was 3:45. She said she had a 3 o'clock. My intention was we were going to do a walk around, but I guess she did tell me that they just want all the buildings washed in the Breezeways. Is that, do you guys know anything about that?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
By the time they're actually the meetings are ownership.
Okay.
So by the time they get out, like you should be done.
Okay.
Typically they only last like 30, 40 minutes.
Okay.
Or so. But yeah, it would be for our
All right, guys, I sure hope that pen worked. Like I said, I've never tested it out, but the owners are all in there, and they're in a meeting. So I have the site map of the whole place. We're gonna kind of go around and take a look at these buildings. I'll take you guys with me, obviously. And I just kind of want to get an idea of the condition. They said that I can just go ahead and take a look around. I already know what needs to get done, all the buildings on the Breezeway. So we got 9 buildings, and I'm gonna count all the Breezeways, probably 3 Breezeways per building, or actually no, 2 Breezeways per building, 2 sides of entry. So let's see, 2 times 9, probably 18, 18 or so Breezeways here to clean. And let me see if I find a parking spot here, and we'll get out and we'll take a look at everything. All right, guys, so check this out. It's not your traditional through and through Breezeways. It actually just goes up. Oh, wow. Yep. So these are not traditional Breezeways. You go in, you'll go through these doors, bunch of cobwebs, oil stains, rustic old bike sitting right here. I can tell it's been a long time since it's been cleaned. Bunch of cobwebs, guys. Ooh, look at those doors. This place has been a while since it's been cleaned. And all kinds of yuck going all the way down. No oxidation. Actually, it looks like almost looks like a fresh paint job. The paint looks really good. Look what I'm seeing right here. We got huge wasp nests and dirt daubers way the hell up there. I mean, there are some huge ones. The video's not picking it up that well. But some of those dirt cobwebs and wasp nests up there are probably 4 inches long. They're huge. They're way up there. That's probably a 35, 40 foot shot right there. So, yeah, I'm gonna need a big extension pole, go around and get all those knocked off in combination with using my 10-foot step ladder and a big 30-foot pole. I mean, wow. Video cannot tell, guys, but the biggest issue on this property is gonna be cobwebs and dirt daubers, wasp nests. I mean, look, the building looks clean. They do want to get it washed. I'm assuming they want to get it washed because of all that cobwebs, dirt daubers, and wasp nests. So, pardon the wind there. At this point, I think I've seen what I needed to see. As far as I can tell, every building looks like this. So, just gonna wait for the owners to get out of their meeting. We'll put back on the spy pen. We'll go in. We'll see what's up. Maybe do a brief walk around with them and get a load of the situation here. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so this is a tall tale sign that this apartment complex might not have the biggest budget out there. They have landscapers going all the way around. Okay, people, this woman is not in any kind of employee uniform, and she's going out there doing the weed spraying. This is their setup. They got a truck and trailer. The truck's kind of banged up, and the truck and trailer have no marketing or no numbers on it, no advertising. So I'm not sure if that's some no-name landscaping company or what, but you know, if they're not going to go through and hire a reputable, good company to do all their landscaping work, that might be a sign that this could be a fishy one. But like I said, I'm not going to judge it based off that. They might have a bigger budget for pressure washing. I can tell you right now, this is going to be a big job, big ticket, and we'll crunch the numbers later tonight. But I'm still waiting for the owners to get out so we can have our meeting. So let's go ahead and jump to that.
Hey there. Oh, hi, Austin. Were you the one I was supposed to meet today?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I guess I did a walk around. They said just to kind of go out and check everything. Mm-hmm. I just kind of wanted to get a hold of kind of the expectations, and because I was actually looking around, and most of the buildings look pretty clean as far as like mold and algae goes. There's just a lot of cobwebs and like wasp nests.
Yeah, we kind of feel like maybe look or have the
buildings look cleaner, like whiter towards the bottom. I know like the top half of it is pretty like clean for the most part, but when you get towards like the bottom, it's like dirty and gross.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it's like clean for moving.
Sure. Go ahead.
And then for the interior, that's like kind of like the main focus as well, like the not the stairwell, but like the breezeways.
Yeah. Yeah, so I noticed a lot of those hallways, you know, they go through and through on 3 levels, so 3 hallways per building. Those had a lot of like critters, cobwebs, and like some stains and stuff. Those are honestly, that was pretty much the only thing that I noticed. But yeah, there's some areas where on the bottom where there's some like brown and mold stainage. But like I said, a lot of the other parts that I've seen are actually fairly clean. But we'll still wash over them.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just kind of want to get a hold of what the main concerns were. So it just sounds like you just kind of want to get the bottoms clean and all that other stuff rinsed off.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had them cleaned last year. Were they cleaned last year? The buildings like pressure wash, like the outside, the exterior?
The outside wasn't pressure washed.
Yeah, I was about to say some of these dirt daubers on there. I mean, some of these things take a long time to form. Like it doesn't look like it's been cleaned in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of the whole point. Just make sure they're like up to date with cleaning.
Sure. Okay. And so I think she had mentioned that we're trying to do it in whenever the students leave and then the new students move in.
Yeah.
Right.
So the dates were what, August?
Our original schedule is you would be the purple. So, and then on the back side is the rest of the days. So that's August.
Oh.
So they pressure washed only the breezeways, and yeah, like the walls of like the entrance right here, like in front of the doors.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that concludes our meeting with one of the ownership personnel on this 9-building apartment complex. I just did another quick walk around on one of the other buildings because the one of the buildings have smaller breezeways than the other buildings. Needless to say, this is going to be a pretty decent job if we can land it. We only got 2 weeks to complete it. It looks like it's a student living, so they leave. I guess they have a 2-week gap between when the students leave and when they come back into school for us to do all the cleaning, all the contractors to do all the stuff, and it's going to be a big mess. And I'm not too sure what the budget is going to be on this one. But you guys know, all the buildings, breezeways, and staircases are all going to get washed. Let's get on home. I'll show you guys how I'm going to personally estimate this, and it's probably going to be different from what a lot of you guys like to do, but I would think I have a nice, simple, and easy way to bid this where you honestly just can't lose. It's a win-win for everybody. Commercial stuff. Commercial is tricky with getting bids accepted because they have a tendency to go for the cheapest guy. As you guys just saw, that landscaping crew back there, I don't even know who the hell they were. And they're wearing normal street person clothes, you know, like no gear, no advertising, no company shirts. It just looks like a mom and pop. So we'll just see. We'll see. I'm not going to be able to hear anything back from this. I might do a part 2 if I can hear something a little bit quicker. But let's just get back home. We'll tally up the numbers. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be bidding this property at, and you guys can tell me if I'm crazy or if it's a good bid or what you guys think about this whole thing. So let's get back home and let's crunch some numbers. Had to run into Best Buy real quick because in order to get the video card out of this pen into my MacBook, I need an adapter, one of these babies that plugs into the MacBook, and then the SD card slides right in that little hole there. The things I have to do to make video content for you guys, 69 bucks. So if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Only 50% of you guys are subscribed, man. Come on, give me a break. Making some content for you guys. Hit me with that subscribe. Let's get back to the house and let's crunch some numbers. All right, guys, so now that we're back at the house, I'm gonna hop on Google Earth and I'm gonna take down some measurements, okay? I'm gonna show you guys a really cool way, if you're bidding commercial properties, how to get accurate measurements. So let's hop on Google Earth and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, what's going on, guys? So here we are in Google Earth. I'm going to do a quick screen record so I can show you guys how I take my measurements. Now, the first measurement we need to get is going to be the length of the breezeways. Now, all the breezeways are going to be the same length, but they are going to be a little bit different width. She did tell me 3 of the buildings have about half the width of the breezeways, where all the other buildings are pretty much the same. So we have, first thing I need to do is obviously get the length of the breezeway. So I'll just go over here, pick one of these buildings here. As you can see, the entryway to these hallways are right here and then right here. I can click my tool, which is right here, and get the length Okay, so boom, I'll line it up where the hallway starts, right there. Go to about right there, and as we can see, it's 85 foot long. Now I need to get the width, which I'm not going to be able to tell from right here that well, but I can take a pretty good educated guess, and I want to say those breezeways are about 8 foot wide on these buildings. So I can go 85 times 8, 85 length times 8 foot wide. That gives me 680. There's 3 breezeways in every single building, so I'm going to multiply 680 times 3. That gives me 2,040. Let's zoom out. I know that's the case for 6 buildings, so I'm going to go 2,040 times 6 of the buildings, which is about 12,000, and 12,240 would be the number for that. So I'm going to open up a note tab. Excuse me while I do this. Okay, so 12,240 to the other buildings. Actually, the length of the breezeways for the other buildings are going to be the same. These 3 buildings right here, 1, 2, and 5, that have smaller breezeways, as you guys can see from that video I showed you. So I'm probably going to guess those are probably about 4 foot wide. So I'm going to go 85 times 4. That gives me 340 times 3 levels times 3. 1,020 times 3 buildings gives me 3,060. So plus 3,060. If you guys are still following along, just stay following me here. 12,240 plus 3,060. That's the total flat surface area square footage. Let me know if I had done that wrong, but that's going to give me a total of 12,240. I'm sorry, hold on. That's going to be, if you add those together, that's 15,300 total square foot. 15,300 square foot. All right, guys, so now let's figure out the square footage of the building. So we can use that same tool that Google Earth offers, which is this measuring tool right here. We can go right down over here. We'll pick this building that we were actually at, and we can start here and actually measure all of the lengths. We'll go with the width of the building. Boom, boom, boom. Right there. Boom. 514. Okay, so 514 is the parameter, and we can actually pick what we want to convert that to, and you can pick square foot. So this tells me that the square footage of this building is going to be 12,200. Now I'm probably going to add a couple hundred square foot on this just to make up for little nooks and crannies everywhere that I'm probably not able to measure. Oh, look, you can see right here that it's not totally accurate. Let's get this really, really accurate, guys. If I can zoom in, I can fix myself right here and make sure we get it all accurate. And we'll drag this right there. There. Okay. We'll bring this here. Bring that there. Okay, now we're more accurate. 13,000 square foot is going to be the total square footage for this building, and that's probably going to be the same for just about every single building there. So let's go ahead and go 13,000 times 9. It's going to give me 117,000. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's do this, because some of these buildings are different. I forgot. 1, 2, and 5 are actually a little smaller buildings. So actually, that 3 buildings are a little smaller, which is going to be this one, and building 5 right here. You can see that the other buildings have the same structure with this little kick out right here, and these happen to be a little smaller than those right here. So it looks like we got 6 buildings all that are 13,000 square foot. So let's go 13,000 or 13,080 times 6. That's going to give 78,480. So I'm just going to write here 78,480. Now let's get the square footage of the smaller ones. We'll do the same thing. We'll start new. See if we can scroll in a little bit. Right about there. Boom, Boom. Total square footage, guys. And then right there, 10,000 square foot, 10,395. 10,395 times 3, 31,185 plus 31,185 equals 78,480 plus 78,480 plus 31185, 109,665 square.
All right, guys,
foot.
so now that we're back in the house and we got all the numbers crunched, it's time for the breakdown. All right, so we have the total square footage for everything here. That's 15,300. So we have the total square footage for all the buildings is going to be 109,665. I believe the average square footage per building was about 12,500 or 13,000. We multiplied that times 9. I know some of the buildings were a little bigger than the others, so we calculated that out as you guys saw. So 109,000 is going to be the total square footage for all the buildings. And then we have the flat surface areas, which is going to be all the breezeways, walkways, which is 3 different walkways on all 3 levels. 1 level per walkway per building. So that's going to be 3 breezeways per building times 9 buildings. So it's about 27 walkways. And then I factored an extra 2,500 square foot for getting the 2 sets of staircases, which is just the actual stairs themselves. I figured 2,500 square foot for all the staircases on all the buildings. I figured that. Which is just basically these rectangular pieces of concrete. That's all we're going to be doing there. So I got total square footage for all flat surface areas cleaned about 17,000. All right, guys. So there's a couple ways you can bid this kind of work. Okay, honestly, and I don't care which one you do. It just depends on which one you like, which one you go for. If it makes sense, obviously you wouldn't do a job if it didn't make sense. But there's not a right way and a wrong way, I would say, to bid things. Like I said, I did a video where I talked about how I price pressure washing jobs. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it down in the description. But I basically said, hey, look, you need to cover your costs, you need to cover your expenses, and then you need to make a profit, you need to pay yourself, make sure you pay your taxes. And if you have some kind of profit, maybe 30 to 40% profit margins are relatively good margins for a business that we're in. I say you bid it right if you can get it accepted. But needless to say, there are a couple ways you can look at this. One, you can go total square footage. You can come up with a price per square foot for this, and then you can come up with a price per square foot for this. Now, usually on my house washing, I'm somewhere around 20 to 25 cents a square foot. Well, now with inflation and gas prices, I have raised my prices. So now I'm sitting at about 25 cents per square foot on house washing, where I was always at 20 cents per square foot. But I do know that this is commercial. So, and if you guys have not done commercial, honestly, they're not like some of my high clientele residential. They are going to take multiple bids, and they're also more than likely going to choose the cheaper option, unless this is like a very high class apartment management company. But as you guys saw in my video, they're not using reputable landscapers. I'm sure that's a great company. I understand. I shouldn't. They shouldn't totally live or die if they have advertisements on their truck. But if they don't have any advertisements on their truck and they're riding in with an old beat up truck, and all the guys are wearing normal street clothes, different colors and whatnot, something isn't lining up here. Most management companies, most apartment complex, you gotta lower your price a little bit and just think of it as, hey, look, this is going to be X amount of number of gross added to my yearly, okay? I mean, this is not going to be the most profitable job and I'm getting text messages over here, so let me just go ahead and silent that. Commercial is just not going to be the most profitable thing ever. I mean, it can be, from my experience. If you guys are in my Facebook group, the Pressure Washing Business Owners Facebook group, go in that group. Apparently, some people are having good success with getting very profitable commercial work. But anyway, I'm rambling on here, as you can tell. But a couple of different ways you can look at this. 109,000 square foot. Honestly, for what I'm doing, which is going to be a lot of dirt dauber, wasp nest removal, and not too much actual chemical usage, I'm probably going to be around 15 cents a square foot on this one. Let's just kind of see where we land here. So let's start with the building square foot. 109,665 times times 0.15 is going to give me, let's hop up my calculator here, 16,449. Okay. 16,449. Okay. So I look at that number, and this is just what I'm thinking of when I'm doing my estimates. The same goes for residential. I got my square footage. I got what I want to charge for per square foot. On residential, 0.25. On commercial, it's more like 0.15. You know, you got to be pretty competitive with commercial if you want to land these big jobs. So I look at this and I say, okay, 16,000. That's kind of a big number. I'm not too sure how to judge that, but here's how I can judge that and see if this makes sense. I can take this number and divide by the amount of buildings I'm cleaning. So it's going to be 9 buildings. We'll hop up on our calculator again. We'll divide by 9. That gives me 1827. 1827. So I look at this and I say, okay, $1,800 per building. Each building's 13,000 square foot. I look at that and I say, okay, you know, if this was residential, and I actually do have a 12,000 square foot house that I just got accepted. I talked about it a few videos ago that I'm going to be doing at the end of the summer. That house wash itself is $6,000. A huge home right there on the lake. I'm doing that for $6,000, and it's a 12,000 square foot house. We're talking about 13,000 square foot buildings. You can say the buildings are a little easier because they're just straight walls, and the house I'm doing is a lot more intricate than that. But still, $1,800 for relatively the same amount of square foot. You can see how commercial we're getting pretty low in prices. But like I said, guys, I mean, if you guys do your research, this is what people are charging for commercial. So anyway, I look at that and I say, okay, how many of these buildings can I do per day? I imagine about 2 of these buildings per day if we're including the breezeways. So, you know, 2 per day, well, times 2. So we're making $3,600 a day if we can get. Now let's go to the flat work side. How much do I want to charge for flat work? Honestly, the flat work is probably the more dirtiest. Is the dirtiest of the surfaces that we're going to be cleaning in this whole project. But nonetheless, we've got 17,800 square foot worth of flat surfaces. A good flat surface number, honestly, for what the going rate of the market is right now that I'm seeing around my area is somewhere around 10 cents a square foot. So 17,800 times 0.10. I want to say that equals, carry the decimal, 1,780. I knew I wasn't done. Anyway, 1,780, $1,780 for all the flat work. I definitely look at that and I say that's very low. So what I'm probably going to do, but one thing I want to do, just to see if all this makes sense as far as the 15 cents per square foot for the washing and the 10 cents per square foot for the flat surface cleaning, is I'm going to add these two numbers together. So 16,449 was the total amount that we came up with the building square foot washing, and then 1,780 was the total amount we came up with for the flat surface cleaning. So we're going to add those together really quickly. Excuse me while I do this here. Let's do 16,449 plus 1,780. Okay, 18,229. 229. Okay. That is the total amount. That's the gross revenue from this job, assuming I want to rock with these numbers. Now, looking at this number, that looks like a decent number to me. But first, I want to know how long is this job going to really take me, right? So I estimate that I'm probably going to be able to do 2 buildings per day. That's all the that's the actual whole building and all the breezeways and stairs. So I want to know what's my per day price per here. Now I'm going to go ahead and divide by 5, which is 5 days to complete the job. And I want to know what we come up with. 18 divided by 5 That gives me $36.45 is the total per day. 6, 4, 5 is my total per day revenue that I would be generating if I went with that number. Now look, that sounds great to me. As of right now, face value, wow, $3,600 per day. I mean, that's just insane. But hold on a second, guys. There's something you're not thinking about. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm gonna erase this. Very important when you're bidding a job is what the hell is it gonna cost you to do the job, right? So here's what I'm thinking. I got 5 days. First thing I can think of when it comes to a 5-day job is 5 days of labor. So I'm gonna have to get someone for 5 days. I pay my guys, if they're gonna be with me all day, about $250 per day. So $250 per day. I know I can find someone cheaper, guys, but look, I'm picky with who I get. I don't want just some random person off the street. The guys I use are some of my good friends, some people I know that work hard, and they have no issues with listening to what I have to say and whatnot. So $250 per day for 5 days. That's $1,000 right there. I know we're gonna have probably with truck and fuel for the pressure washer. I'm gonna go ahead and factor. Let's go 500 for gas and bleach and degreaser. I'm gonna go ahead and put, we'll factor another 500. I'm gonna have to order by the gallon degreaser, which I'll only keep about a couple of gallons on stock with all those oil stains that are all over I don't know how there's oil stains, but there's a bunch of stains and grime and grease and oil in those breezeways. I haven't been cleaning them forever. So that's like $40 per gallon. Okay, I already told you we're not gonna be using too much bleach because we're not gonna be using too much of it on the houses, on the buildings. So this for chemicals, this actually might be a little low, but just for whole numbers. All right, so another expense that not too many people think about, but it is an expense. I mean, it is a cost of business. I mean, you can't make money. A business can't give or bring in money without paying taxes. Some might disagree and say, Austin, you shouldn't factor this in. That's just a given. I'm going to factor it in because I need to know what is my take. What am I actually going to be keeping at the end of the day? Okay, keeping the money is actually something that fairly matters a lot. That's why we're in business. So I am going to put 15% into a separate tax account, which is what I do for all my jobs per job. I just put 15% of it goes into a tax account, helps my quarterly taxes, and it more or less it's on point at the end of the year. So 15%, and I understand you got expenses for everything, and you got to plug all those numbers in, but still, one of my things I do on all my jobs is I factor 15%. Okay, love it or hate it, that's what I do. So 18,229 times 15%, 2734. 2734 is going to be what I'm going to owe the government after this. I understand you minus your expenses and then you're taxed on your gross profit. Gross profit, right? But hey, look, that's what I'm going to go with, okay? Your equation might be different. This is how I price my commercial jobs, okay? Because you're watching my channel. By the way, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Cool. Anyway, so let's go ahead and add this. I might be forgetting a few things. Let's see, I got my labor, my gas, my expenses for chemical. I could throw a couple $100 for equipment, wear and tear. I'm not going to do that on this one. I got my taxes. And then you got your marketing costs, which you could divide out per day. I'm not going to do that on this one because this is just what's it going to cost me to do for this job. It's going to cost me 15% in taxes, $500 in chemical, $500 in gas, and about $1,000 give or take of labor. Now, let's just see what we come up with this. So let's go 2734 plus 1,000 for gas and chemical equals, okay, plus 1,000 for labor, 4734 excuse me, 7, 7, 3, 4. All right, so that's what $4,734. What's it gonna cost me to do this job? Okay, so let's subtract 4734 from 18,000. 4734 from our total gross, which is 18,229 minus 4734. That's 13,495. This is our profit after expenses for this job. So we're going to divide that by 5 days. What's our profit per day after expenses is what I want to know. Divided by 5, 26.99. 26.99. All right. That is our total profit, net profit per day after expenses, which are right here. I might look like there's a bunch of mumbo jumbo on the board. I skipped the whole whiteboard writing class when I was a kid. So anyway, I look at this number, $26.99 per day after expenses. That's not bad. That's really not bad for commercial work at that scale. I mean, you talk about 9 buildings. So there's a lot of companies that would, a lot of management companies I've talked to would say, hey, what's your day rate? Like, how much does it cost? Like, what's your time worth? And I don't like answering those questions. I just think they're dumb questions. It's just like, so you're trying to value my time per hour, is that right? Well, yeah, I want to know what your time is worth per hour. And so you're saying if I could do this job in magically 4 hours, then I should only be paid, whatever hourly, $200 per hour. I should only be paid $800 for this project? Well, obviously not. And then what if I took 3 weeks to complete this project? Would you want to charge me 3 works worth of time? Obviously you wouldn't want to do that. So time is not out of the equation. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be the ultimate reason why, how you price jobs. And I hate when management companies ask that question, well, what's your day rate? What's your hourly rate? That's only a minuscule part of the equation. So anyway, I look at $26.99. For me, that's going to be a good number. So I have the option to shoot this to them, 18,229. Personally, I think that might be just a little too high for these people's budget. I want to say they have a nice round whole number as far as their budget, which is probably going to be like somewhere around 15,000. That could be the case. So what I might end up doing is just saying, hey, look, this is my number, but since I might throw them a little incentive, like a summer discount, might give them a 10% off, since we're really not going to be doing too much chemical usage because there's no algae or mold. So I might look at that and go 10% off, and I might be satisfied with whatever number that is. But anyway, guys, that's how I mostly price my commercial jobs. I take the square footage and I break it down per day minus my expenses. I get my total net per day. That's what I want to know. And then from there, I look at it and say, hey, Austin, does this make sense? Okay, when I factor that in and all the things that could go wrong with the place, with all the residents walking in and out, I mean, everything that could possibly go wrong is $26.99 worth sticking my butt out there with everything that could potentially go right or go wrong with this project. Is that going to be worth it for me? And it's a simple yes or a simple no answer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Like, comment, subscribe. We've had amazing growth this whole year, and hopefully we can continue that. And I can continue to bring more amazing videos to you guys. These videos are getting harder and harder for me to edit with all the software I'm downloading, all the editing and stuff. It's taking a lot of time from my day. So if you're still watching this video, I really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.